Hello my dolly dearies and welcome to another video. Now today we're doing something a bit different from what we've done previously. I am actually starting on a new series which is remaking all of my Zodiac dolls. These were some of the first repaints on my channel and I've been looking at them on my shelf and they're in need of a bit of an update. So we're going to start with the first in the Zodiac calendar, ARIES, who was kind of halfway through my series, but this time we're starting through the Zodiac calendar. So, without any further ado, let's get on with the video. Now, this is what we've got going for ARIES. She's got a bit of a decor theme going along, but her colour palette, her outfit and everything is just a bit disorganised. Everything is just not all together. Her hands are quite sticky, the glue has never dried in all these years, same on the boots, the purple glitter is flaking off, same with all the glitter on her face. So she's in desperate need of an update. To begin, I sketch up a design of how I'd like her to look. Now her design is very similar to what we've already got here, but just made a bit more cohesive, the accessories kind of a bit more put together, and the colours a bit more matching. Because there are some random pops of gold and silver in her outfit, her dress is pink despite there being no pink on her outfit, so we're going to try and make everything a bit more matchy this time round. To begin, I strip her of everything and remove all the glitter from her face and pop out her eyes. These were secured in with a lot of hot glue, so I just took my pliers to poke them out through the head. We can then get to removing her face with some acetone. This all came off quite easily, which I'm very surprised because the amount of crud which was on her face, which I wasn't sure the acetone would remove, it actually all came off quite nicely. So we've got a nice clean slate to work with. It did, however, expose my less than good job of carving out her eye holes, so I took a Dremel to them. Then I made her legs more ram-like by cutting them in half and adding a joint for them to go backwards. This can be seen in my Decora Dragon tutorial, Candy Dragon tutorial, where I did the same thing. Now it's time to flesh everything out with epoxy sculpt. I'll also be changing her horns. I'm not quite sure why I went for this style of horns, they're not even ram horns, so we're going to change them to be ram horns this time round. With all of her epoxy set and cured, we can also move on to colour matching her, because this is, I can't remember the name of the face sculpt, on a Claudine body. So while they are sisters, they've got a bit of a different skin tone, so we're going to do our best to colour match those this time around as well. I make it a bit more metallic because I think adding some more shine really leans into this cutesy, glittery decor thing we've got going on, and matches the glitter on her gloves. I also begin to mix up a mix of Mod Podge and a bunch of silver glitters, which aren't quite viewable through the glue, and slap that all over her horns. Now this glue dries clear, so once it's all dry, all of this beautiful silver iridescent holographic glitter will show up so nicely, and it's so adorable. I didn't paint the entirety of her body because it'll be covered up. But with that all done, we can move on to her face paint. I really want to go for the same thing with the rainbow eyeshadow, but I'm going for a softer look on the rest of her face, seeing how I will be covering her cheeks in the chunky glitter again, trying to make it a bit more neat and organised this time. I go back and forth with pastels trying to build up colour, which is a bit more difficult on this darker skin tone, but I keep on going back in to try and get it to the colour that I want. When that ends up not working, I then go in with my pencils. The watercolour pencils do take much better and I end up getting some more colour with them. I work through all the colours of the rainbow, giving her alternating purple and red eyebrows. I also go in with a white pencil to brighten up her teeth. This wide toothy grin is just so cute, and honestly I need to customise more dolls with this adorable toothy grin. But I continue brightening everything with watercolour pencils until I can get to a state which I'm happy enough with. Unfortunately, we've been having some absolutely awful weather here in the UK, so not only has it been awful to be here, but also it means that my MSC is not taking super duper well, meaning I'm having to resort to more watercolours and other alternatives to pencils and pastels on this face paint because they are just not taking. You can see here I even tried blending out the pastels and pencils with some water, and it works okay, but still not great, so we'll have to come back to that later. I then break out the paintbrushes and begin brightening her teeth with some white gouache paint to try and get them to a really nice bright white colour. I then continue trying to brighten her lips with this nice dark red, to some degree of working, but still not great. Here I try and blend out her eyeshadow again, but I had the great idea of slapping a bunch of pastels on a wet base, and this really helps them stick and get this super duper vibrant, beautiful colour through. I repeat this on both eyes, blending out the gradient as I need, and it's just so cute, isn't it? I continue to blend out the pastels to make them a bit more even across everything. And now I break out the gouache paints for real, going in to really brighten up her eyebrows, making sure they're really vivid red and purple respectively. I then also start to add some shading to them, adding a nice gradient, and also brightening up her lips with some gouache paint this time round. And then, of course, it's onto the staple of every single Sky the Golden Doll, eyeliner. It has to be there. I paint on this beautiful thick cat eye wing and begin to pull it out beneath her eye, along with drawing on some really nice chunky eyelashes. She's just looking adorable, isn't she? I can now finally remove her from the hair burrito. And we can set loose that beautiful mane of rainbow coloured hair. For her eyes, I 3D print out these eye bases, which can be found on a Thingiverse link in the description box below, and fill them with silver glitter to match her horns. I also add a silver bow to her hair to tie this all together and give her some small silver hoop earrings. Now onto her dress. I did think that pink could initially work, but for the underskirt I went with a silver holographic, keeping the silver in her design, but also the rainbow. To do this, I cut out around a piece of tape and cut a small circle in the middle. On the pink dress, I did try to salvage it, but it didn't quite work. So I made a copy of it in this purple satiny fabric. It brings the purple, which can be seen on her gloves and on her shoes, back into the design, so it keeps it all cohesive. For her shoes, I painted the bottom silver to match the rest of her accessories, and silver buckles, and purple straps. And then I added a nice fur trim to all of them in white, and to tie that back into the design, I gave her this giant fluffy shawl thing. And once we add all the glitter, she's done! absolutely love how she turned out. She kept a lot of aspects and most of her original design, but I felt it made her more cohesive and more tied together and unique. She was such a joy to remake, and I'm so excited to remake the rest of my Zodiac series. Even if her design hasn't changed a lot, my skill definitely has, and that reflects in how she's been updated and how she's changed. Which Zodiac are you most excited to see remade? Is it your Zodiac, one of your favourites, or even the mysterious Ophiuchus who everyone always forgets about? Let me know in the comments down below. Please like the video, subscribe, and maybe even share with a friend if you're feeling particularly adventurous. But as always, thank you guys all so much for watching, and I shall see you all in the next one. Bye!